What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Three Aficionados. It's your boy Earth, ladies man 217. It's your boy She Can Bake on the score 34, and it's your editor, XOTOG14 editing. This is game time, by the way.
Gamer tags.
We got some
I
stuff
will
we're
love
gonna
that.
talk about today. We got the finals, this boring ass finals. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about. We got the
What did I
Euros.
say? What did I say last episode? What did I
You
say?
didn't say sweep. You didn't say
I
Boston
I
sweep.
said Boston in five. Boston in
Yeah,
five is what I said. You
3-0.
said Mavericks in 6 or 7.
Yeah,
And you were flaming me for the pick.
yeah.
And
Top five was
on it
disrespect.
right now is looking pretty good what I said. And you're looking not so good. Not
It's
so
Kyrie's fault.
maybe. Maybe. Tatum
Kyrie's
hasn't been
fault.
shooting that well until today. So
Yeah,
uh,
and Kyrie didn't shoot that well until today too. I don't know what happened.
and Boston's still winning. So
And then Luca fouled out. It was
which was
I watched the whole
crazy.
game.
All right. We'll get into the third game, but let's kind of go over the series a little bit because it's basically been just domination from Boston. Like that's all it's been. 3 straight games, and it's looked exactly like it has all playoffs. Where in round one they won the series 4-1 against Miami. Round two they win 4-1 against Cleveland, and then round three,
It
who
was
they beat?
4-1. Yeah, 4-1 Cleveland and then
It was
4-0 in
4-0 against
Boston.
Indiana,
Yeah.
and now it's going to be 4-0 or 4-1, I think, against Dallas to win the championship. And at first, when we made the predictions before and everything, we were like, "Wow, this is the finals that we want." And now it's like Boston, if they play their cards right, they could be good for more than just this year. Where like this is looking like potential dynasty level team play, right? They've got Tatum, they've got Brown. Al Horford's definitely on his way out. Like I don't know how much longer he's gonna have. But I love their coach, Missoula. I think this guy is absolutely phenomenal. I saw Pep Guardiola there for game one, which was awesome. Totally changed the landscape. I know you don't like him either. So this is great. Drew Holiday's been an absolute monster. Like,
It's the Bucks' fault. The Bucks gave them the championship. Even Embiid tweeted that.
yeah.
They got greedy. They were like, "Oh, we don't have enough stars or whatnot." They did what the Lakers did. They
Mhm.
traded away the core for Westbrook. The Bucks, they traded their future first round picks.
For Lillard.
I think 3 picks and Holiday.
Yeah.
And they lost PJ Tucker. You bring in Dame.
Yeah.
You don't make it out of the second round.
Well, and then Lillard, the problem is he had some injury issues this year. He played well, but he started off not that great.
Yeah, but
My
I
Holiday's
think
been
Boston's
exactly what Boston wanted because Missoula turned him
yeah.
from this offensive scorer who can play defense to a guy who shoots when he has to and will make the bucket. But his main thing is to be the perimeter defender. He's
Yeah.
covering the guys like Kyrie, which are so hard to cover, and
Only
he's
Kyrie.
doing phenomenal. And then obviously Derek White's been an absolute monster this series. Like holy crap! Like they look like one of the best backcourts that we've seen all season. Probably one of the best backcourts in playoff history, in
They're
my opinion.
definitely underrated.
I don't think it's even underrated anymore. I think now it's expected. Like Derek White and Drew Holiday have been so clutch for these 3 games. And once again, and today was a mess by Boston because they were up by like 21 in what, the fourth quarter,
I don't know if
right?
it was 20, but it was double digits.
No, it was 21. I remember I checked. It was
Uh,
like, or maybe it
I
was
was
like
high.
nine. It was like 90 to 71 or something like that,
I was high and
right?
drunk at the bar, so
So something close, something close to that.
I'm like
So,
bad, bad. But yeah, it was a good game though. It was close, but then
well,
you saw
because they made the comeback, right?
yeah, Luca. But then Luca
Luca,
fouled out. But then the Mavs got it close. But some of these people just they can't
dude.
make shots, man.
PJ
I don't know
Washington
if you
with the
saw
wide
PJ
open three. He
missed
wide
brick,
open three. He made his guy miss. He made him jump, missed the wide open three.
and
I get
then
that there's pressure.
you
You got to
see
make that shot though.
Tim Hardaway too.
Yeah,
He he
they were
got fouled
missing.
by Derek White. The refs didn't
And
call
then
it.
Kyrie
Open
took
three, he
such a
missed it.
weird three contested with like a minute left or something.
Yeah,
Obviously, he was going to miss.
he thought it
Didn't
was
make any
that
sense.
fucking oh shoot. He thought it was the Cavs and Warriors.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
buddy, you're Unc Drew now. You're not 24-year-old Kyrie no
but so
more.
let's quickly go over. So the first 2 games, so in game one, Boston won 107-89. And that one was so far out of all the games, that was easily the worst one. That was the one that Dallas looked absolutely awful because nobody else showed up besides
Luca.
Luca because he was the only guy who
I
had
mean, the
around
same thing in
14
game
points.
two.
Yeah, it was the same, but points wise, 89 points in the finals. When your opponent has 107, embarrassing. This is really bad, right? PJ, I don't know the field goal percentages right now. I don't have them in front of me, but
They all shot terrible. Luca only had one
yeah,
assist. That's how you know.
but PJ Washington had 14 points in that game. Derek Jones Jr., who's a starter, had 5 points. I was watching this
He
guy
had two
miss
points today. He
every
was
single
terrible.
shot. I don't know why he's starting anymore. I don't get it. They got to find a different person to put there because he has been awful. Like all of a sudden he went from being this guy who's like
They don't
making
have anyone
trick
else.
plays. Dude, then play him less. Like it doesn't work. They have
I mean, they
Gafford
played
had
him like 20
8 points, but
minutes today.
Gafford is still more dependable than Derek Jones Jr. is for sure. Luca
The
dropped
guy from the
30 in
big.
that game.
They need a wing defender.
Dude, they don't have it. Derek Jones Jr. is doing nothing.
Well,
You
they
think,
don't have anyone else.
dude,
Josh
find a
Green
way.
is too small. Jaden Hardy too small. Dante Exum. That's why they've been playing Dante Exum more. You can't play Tim Hardaway Jr. because he's a brick and he
Yeah.
can't defend. I saw Tatum bullied him a few times and Jalen Brown did too.
But anyway, so Luca had 30 and 10. Kyrie only had 12 points in that game. Absolute embarrassment.
Made
And then
130.
only guy off the bench who played even reasonably well was
Lively?
Jaden Hardy, 13 points. No
Yeah.
lively. He only got 18 minutes. He only had 2 points. Tim Hardaway had nothing. So that was game one. And that was the game that Dante Exum basically didn't play. Meanwhile, Boston
Game
in that
two, he
game,
did.
Boston had so in game one, Tatum only had 16, but he had 11 rebounds. You could tell I think he only shot like 9 times in the whole entire game. Like he didn't really shoot the ball. He was just more focusing on defense and making good plays.
Yeah.
Even though his percentages were also low, but Jalen Brown, Porzingis, who started the game phenomenal. Like in the
Mm.
first quarter, he had like 11 points. And or maybe even after. Anyways, he finished with 20. He had a really good game one. Derek White had a good game one, a lot of defensive stops, also 15 points. Holiday, exact same thing at 12 points, good defense. Horford's been showing up this series. He's playing great defense. It's like he's 10 years younger. This guy's back. Jalen Brown had 22 in that game. And then the bench didn't do a ton, but they didn't have to, right? Hauser had 8 points. Pritchard didn't really shoot the ball that much, but didn't score any points. But the bench didn't have to do anything because the starters did basically all the hard work and they played
Mm.
most of the minutes. And then Porzingis stepped up when he had to. Um, in game two, it was 105-98. Way more respectable scoreline, more respectable game for sure. Definitely closer, but like more guys in the double digits. Once again, though, Kyrie only scoring 16 points in game two, not enough. 41 minutes, not enough. I don't care what your field goal percentage is. You have to keep on shooting the ball because this team, they should have at least one win right now. They should, right? PJ Washington had 17, Derek Jones Jr. had 11, Gafford had 13, Luca 32 with he had a triple double actually, 32, 11, and 11. 16 from Kyrie, and then nothing off the bench. Lively again, only 2 points. Josh Green for Exum 3 with only 10 minutes. So that's two straight games where Kyrie has been extremely disappointing and the bench has been extremely disappointing. And Luca is basically doing everything.
He's looking like 2018 Braun.
Well, that's what everyone's kind of comparing him to now. Like they're saying, like obviously we heard the news about Jerry West and how he passed away, which
Mm-hmm.
absolutely sucks.
RIP.
Absolute legend in the NBA. Definitely the reason behind a lot of the dynasties that have happened in the past. And obviously he's the logo of the NBA, so you know how important he is.
Mm-hmm.
But Luca's having like a Jerry West kind of finals where Jerry West was like, I think he's like the only guy ever to win finals
Yeah, he
MVP
is.
and not win the title. And Luca is having that kind of series. He's the best player in the series by far, and his team is not even close to winning, right? Like this is like that's the type of series he's having, unfortunately. Like team wise, this is just not the thing. He's doing everything he has to, and unfortunately, it looks like he has to do more because once again, in game two, Tatum only had 18. He was shooting like under 30%. Jalen Brown had 21. Drew Holiday had to step up in this one. He scored 26 at 11 rebounds, huge defensive stops, especially at the end of the game when it was really close. Same with Derek White. He had a super clutch block at the end of the game. And Porzingis as well, 12 points. And then they didn't really run anyone on the bench. So I don't even know what to say. Like how can Dallas not be improving? Like what Jason Kidd's got to find. I love him as a head coach, but he's got to find a way to get them to adjust because then today, 106-99, the game looked completely out of reach in the fourth quarter. He gets them back. It's basically a tie game. It was like 93-90 when I saw it. and then Boston tailed away again, right? 106-99. Like
The missed shots, the missed open shots. They were good looks and they missed it.
think about it, they were able to hold Jaylen Brown to just 6 points in the
No,
first
yeah,
half.
first half.
That is insane. I know Tatum, he was the guy shooting today, like he had like 20 points in the first half or something, but they had to do a better job because Jaylen Brown in the second half, he scored 24 points. He scored
No,
24 points in 2 quarters. How could you let
no,
that happen after stopping him for six?
can't
I
do
know
that.
you guys are gonna
'Cause
adjust.
they don't have any defenders they can put on
Dude,
them.
he had his series high. Like he hasn't scored
Yeah.
30 all series, and then he scores 24 in the second half. Right? Tatum hasn't scored even 20 all series, now he drops 31 today. How'd your defense get worse? Doesn't make sense to me. And that meant that the starters had to do even less today. Right? Horford now really could just focus on defense. Holiday today
Yeah,
could really just focus on defense. He only had like 8 points or 9 points
yeah,
today.
9 points.
Derek White had 16. He had a clutch three at the end of the game, but he didn't have to do that much. But when it came on, when the game was on the line, he was there and he showed up. Hauser again, 9 points. They only played 14 minutes. And then if you look at the Mavericks side, PJ Washington played 39 minutes. Only had 13 points. He missed a huge three close to the end of the game. Kyrie had 35 today, so he found his rhythm. Luka had 27, but he fouled out at the end of the game, right? With like 3 minutes left. I I don't know what to say about that foul. Like the problem is his leg was moving. He wasn't set.
He was moving,
So,
but
but
it
he
looks
wasn't
like,
set. So when they have to define the play, he wasn't set. Um, I don't know why he would do that in that moment. Like
yeah, it was five
he tried to get a
fouls.
foul, but he has 4 or 5 fouls already, or
That was
four,
five. That
or
was five.
that was his fifth one, right?
No, that was the sixth one. The Charger.
Sorry, that was his sixth one. How can you make that kind of decision at that point in the game? Like you guys are so close. I understand that you want to get Boston out of the offensive zone, and Jaylen Brown was the guy that had the ball, but that's one of the maybe the only mistake he's made this series is
Hmm.
doing that.
He
Right? He
just,
can complain all he wants about it and everything.
yeah.
He took a risk making that play, and this time the ref didn't side with him. That's always a 50-50 call, especially if you're moving. Right? He did it in like a split second. Like it was out of nowhere. Like Brown was already right next to him. I'm not a huge fan of the play. I'm not a huge fan of the call. Lively played better today at 11 points, 13 rebounds. Once again, nothing off the bench though. Three guys who had zero. Hardy only played 4 minutes, but Tim Hardaway's the main guy. Josh Green, they really did not do anything. And then if you look at the starters,
Uh,
Derek Jones again, 2 points. Gafford 6 points, right? So I don't know. The Mavericks for 3 games have clearly been the worst team, and this time, this game they truly could have won it if Luka didn't foul out. Because
and
fine,
if he made those threes though,
huh?
that PJ three that he missed,
Yeah,
that was a big
it would
one.
have. And Kyrie if he made that three too, like it would.
Yeah.
And
The
it would
Kyrie
change
shot
the
was just a
landscape.
bad shot. The PJ one, you have
That
to
was
make
wide
that.
open. It was
Harder
wide
one.
open. How do you
You
miss
have to
that,
make
right?
that.
Like at this point, it's like I've talked about some people before. It's about like you're a professional basketball player, you're being paid all this money. I get that you're not going to make every single shot, but you're paid to make that shot.
Yeah.
When the game is on the line, the money's on the line, it matters the most. That shot has to go in. And it should have. He was wide open and he rimmed it. Like he didn't even, it was just in the corner. It should have been, that's a shot you practice
I
every.
know it's the corner ball too. That's the spot.
It
Uh,
was a shame.
we'll see how Jason Kidd he coaches them next game.
We'll
I
see. But this, do
assume
you
he's
really think,
gonna
you think that,
different
you don't think that
rotation.
the Mavericks can come back now, right?
Not really, but like there's always that small amount of hope, that you cling
Is
for.
there ever a team to come back from 3-0?
No,
Mm,
there. I think the stat is 196-0 or something like that.
yeah, dude. We were talking it up so much about Kyrie and Luca.
Yeah, and how like Kyrie's return to Boston, but Kyrie's just getting clamped in Boston. The one time he does have a good game, they lose. It's the bench. It's Kyrie and Luka can't do it all. Like I think that is the one flaw of this.
Yeah.
Well, there's two flaws. You don't have enough defenders that are 3 and D guys. You only have just wing defenders and
Yeah.
no 3-point shooting from Derek Jones Jr. PJ, when he's hot, he's hot. But when he's cold, he's ice cold. Josh
Yeah.
Green, too small, can't make threes. Jane Hardy's too small. They need more creators. They need more on-ball defenders and 3 and D guys. And that's what they're gonna have to look for this offseason. because Boston's killing them.
Yeah.
So
I
because
mean,
you can't always go against Drew Holiday and Derek White. You'll get tired. You have to
yeah,
go
so
to
that's the thing.
Jaylen
That's
Brown.
the one thing that really has separated Boston from almost every single team that they've played and in the playoffs in general is that their five starters are their five starters. Like these guys are all good, right? Tatum, Brown, both of these guys are all stars, all NBA team guys.
They're
Like
top 20 players.
they're top 20 players. Al Horford, he's definitely on his way out, but this is
He's
a
a
veteran
veteran.
center who's been in, I don't know about finals positions, but he's been in playoff positions. He's
Yeah.
had to be there. He's been really good at different points in his career, especially with Atlanta, I think was kind of his
Yeah,
best.
Hawks prime Horford was like double machine, like 18
Exactly.
and
And then think about Drew Holiday. This guy used to average like over 25 a game. And now he's come here and they're actually letting him use his defensive prowess for his strength and lowering his shooting, but he can still make the shots when he has to. So he's an easy starter. And then Derek White's he was a starter with the
3 and
Spurs.
D.
They moved him here. He's doing the exact same thing, except now he's being noticed because he's with a bigger market. So they have their five starters for sure. And it's too bad that Porzingis is hurt. I don't remember what his injury line was, whatever they said it
It's
was crazy.
something. It's serious. I don't know if he'll come back,
It's
but
something that's
I
rare,
don't know if they
but
need
it's
him.
exactly like, and even if he was here, like that only makes them better, and he doesn't
Yeah,
even have to start. So I don't know. It. We thought that they kind of cruised through because it was the East and all the teams really weren't that good, and now it's like people are gonna say it's kind of a cupcake championship and everything, assuming that they win the next game or game five, but. I don't know if you can call it a cupcake championship. I think that they've been assembled so well that they've made it look like one, but really they're just that dominant.
I'm pissed off. I don't like Boston.
Neither do
2019
I. I
Raps
don't
would
like Boston either. We're from
smoke them.
Toronto. People from New York too. They don't
The
like
Raps would smoke
Cardinals.
them. That'd be a good series though. 2019 Raptors versus 2024 Celtics.
It would be a good
Okay,
series
won't get
because we have
sidetracked, but
defenders. We had defenders, I think.
exactly.
Plus clutch shooting.
They're kind of built the same.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually, yeah, because we had a pretty solid starting five because it was Kyle Lowry, Kawhi, Van
Fred
Vliet,
VanVleet, Siakam, Gasol, Ibaka,
Gasol.
Powell. We're a
Dude,
deep team.
that was actually
OG.
yeah, actually that damn, that would be sick to see now. Right, those two teams going at it. But yeah, I just think Boston's in a world of their own, honestly. Like that's really what it's become. And this team, I'm pretty sure can stick around next year. I don't know what the contract situations are like, but if it can, then they might be going back to back, right? Because we already know that super teams don't work. Like it's so rare.
Mm,
Warriors pulled it off, but it was with homegrown talent and one year with
the Sixers. We'll see the Sixers. They have 60 million cap this year.
well, apparently Paul George maybe.
Yeah, Paul George and beat Maxi. That would be.
Yeah. We'll get into that later in the off season because we'll definitely have some
Sure.
time to cover free agency and all that.
But
Um,
game four
yeah,
is what, in 2 days, I think.
yeah, 2 days. So it's gonna be we'll see.
Dallas at home.
You know what I do still do think it's gonna be in five. I think that
Boston will win in 5 at home.
you have to think the Mavericks are gonna win one game.
Yeah.
No way they lose four in a row, right? Luka's gotta you gotta think he's gonna drop if like 45 if he has to. Like he's not gonna miss a shot in the next game. It just feels like
He's definitely not gonna follow
he
next
has
game.
the ice within him to win them a game.
I
And
think Kyrie
Kyrie
too.
just he doesn't want to lose like this.
He's gonna
So
play. He's gonna play well next game too. I think it's really the crowd that gets to him. Honestly, maybe just being in Boston because he played so bad in
and
Boston.
that Boston crowd every single
Yeah,
game, they're into
no
it.
matter what they
They're
say, like
into it. Like
bad stuff and
people
good
who
stuff.
think that the crowd doesn't matter, like you're so wrong. Like
Unless you're LeBron, it doesn't matter. Like,
yes, but the
like
thing is, he's also
one of
thinking
the
about the
greats.
experience. When he was with Miami, it mattered, right? With all the inexperience, it mattered. But
Maybe the first year at Miami in the finals, but like after
yeah,
that,
but once you get used to it, once you're there all the time, and you know, like you're so overconfident in a way, like you're really confident in your abilities and your team's abilities. It becomes a different kind of nervousness or
mm,
pressure. It's more just pressure on yourself.
yeah.
Which LeBron, he's done it all, so he doesn't have to hold